With the Confederates bearing down, both sides know that this bridge, the Columbia Bridge, is vital to defending and capturing Harrisburg.
Right.
Could you reiterate why that was so important?
Yeah, I think it's an important point to realize that, again, from Harrisburg south to Conowingo, Maryland, there's only one way to cross the river south of Harrisburg, and that's this bridge. There were a couple fords, but they were underwater because it's been raining very heavily this spring. There are a number of ferry services that still existed as well, but all the ferry boats, of course, are going to be no value to the Confederate Army because they're all going to be taken to the eastern riverbank. So to defend Harrisburg, it's really fairly simple. If you can protect the bridges at Lemoyne and Harrisburg, today's Lemoyne, then Bridgeport, and the bridge here at Columbia, you can keep the Confederates off the river. And so Harrisburg can be protected relatively simply by simply putting troops in those two locations in mass and either burning those bridges or destroying the ability of the Confederates to get across the bridges. Now, conversely, if you're Robert E. Lee, and again, you've told Lieutenant General Ewell to take Harrisburg, if it comes within your means, end quote, then you realize you've got to take those bridges. Or if you decide you can't really get to Harrisburg, then you need to destroy the bridge here at Wrightsville and Columbia, because there's a lot of Union troops stationed in Philadelphia that can quite easily move into this region via rail and be here within a matter of hours to prevent another front, which Lee's going to have to fight. So the bridge becomes really important. Now, Lee's original orders to Ewell, who in turn sends them to General Early, is to burn this bridge, because at the time, the impression is that the battle is going to be fought somewhere in northwestern York County or somewhere in Cumberland County, perhaps, on a line between York and Carlisle, and having this bridge out of the way, again, prevents Union troops from coming onto Lee's left flank if you assume a defensive posture, which General Longstreet, of course, is going to encourage him to do here in Pennsylvania. Well, as I mentioned earlier, General Early believes the militia is, quote unquote, so utterly inefficient, he decides that I'm going to capture this bridge, I'm going to take Harrisburg on my own, I'm going to take my troops into Lancaster County, I'm going to mount them on all the captured horses we can find in this region. In fact, more than 1,000 horses have been taken across this toll bridge into Lancaster County. Nice windfall for the bank that owns the bridge, but a windfall potentially for Early if he can get all those horses, mount the Louisiana Tigers or Gordon's Brigade, and then go take Harrisburg on his own. And in fact, the ever-aggressive Early believes he personally can, end the war, if you will, by such a maneuver.